Hey guys, this is Mekkah, and you are watching Void's Blitzarre Adventure double feature, Chapter 21 and Chapter 22, because they are both very short. First we're gonna do Chapter 21, which is affectionately named Doot Doot, and you'll see why pretty soon. So this map is a complete copy of a GAIDEN map. I forgot what number it is, but it's the one where you fight generic evil dark mage number 77. And he's possessed this dark mage, or this light mage, the aura female mage with the dark past. Her name is Doot, and her description is Doot Doot. And her skills are kind of funny, but we're not bothering with a level 3 mage with bad stats, so I'm not gonna use her. But I will recruit her, because I'm recruiting everyone. Doot Doot. Doot Doot. Also, I like the GAIDEN ring she comes with, but that doesn't really give her any brownie points. It just means I'm gonna recruit her and then put her on the bench. So yeah, the original GAIDEN, I think when I first played GAIDEN, this was when I got totally overpowered units. I think this is when I promoted my my flyer, whatever her name is, the Clarine copy. And she just trivialized the map, and obviously I have even stronger units here than you have in GAIDEN, so this isn't going to be very hard at all. I'm checking Luna if it's like FE7 style, but it's not, it's FE8 style, which means it's really inaccurate. So I did a little bit of prepping, and I decided I'll put the energy ring on Celicia, since her magic is like, it's really good, but she's not quite too outgoing sometimes. And I'll give my new pair of boots to Kirsten, to get my sexy ass 10 move flyer. Sexy as in it's really good. So yeah, let's go. I love the GAIDEN music though. It's really chill. So yeah, I brought this squad. I don't know why I'm standing still for so long with Edgeworth. Okay, there we go. I guess I just wanted to show off his static animation. So yeah, rally makes this part a total joke, because the enemies are all so clumped up that you can easily just expose 2 people on the choke point. I can even rally someone's resistance, and I barely even need Kaga this turn. Dancing plus rally makes rally so much better. It's insane. So, while my foot group, my grounded group is busy dealing with these dark mages, I'm gonna have Kirsten fly over, see if she can go through these walls. If not, she can still support with javelins and shit. I'll find some way to make her work. But yeah, here you can see totally useless rally. This part kind of makes it look like Celicia doesn't really need the energy ring at all. But for these parts where she's out on her own doing things, it might be helpful, I don't know. This is a nice kill setup for whoever, or at least it would have been, but she procced at it, as you saw by the flashy animation. I forgot to turn him off after fighting the boss last map, but that does have its benefits this turn. Here I am reminded that Fenrir actually lets dark mages attack from 3 range, and that means Celicia won't counter. But despite the fact that I only have like 7 deployment slots, I have more units than I need to deal with these. As always, like in GAIDEN, the enemy map, the enemy density just isn't very high, so I can just take care of these with 2 hands tied behind my back if I want to. This enemy would have damaged Kirsten pretty heavily, but he misses, but I had plenty of ways of healing her available, so this really isn't a big deal. I think someone said that there was a way to turn animations on and off during enemy phase, making sure you see the animations you want to see, but I forgot how to do it and didn't think of it at the time. Here I was like, I might as well give a kill to Void, because what else is she gonna do this whole map, right? Might seem kind of wasteful of the Blitz Lance, but remember ages ago I got a second Blitz Lance in that map where I got the Shaman with all the warp tiles, and I haven't even used up my old Blitz Lance since then, so I think I'll be fine. I think the Blitz Lance doesn't weigh her down. and like stronger weapons. Here's a fortified dude, I'm just gonna take him out. Don't want him interfering with my boss kill plans. I am still not sure whether Kirsten actually has Pierce. I think she might. I think I was trying to decide if I could like try to go for a one-shot with Pierce. And whether I would need to use a strong weapon for that, but then I decided screw it, we'll just go with an Iron Lance. And she dodges again. So the only really, I won't say the tough thing about this map, but the only thing I was kind of wondering about for this chapter is, just like in the original, how to kill the boss without killing Dut, or I guess I should say Ch21. I don't know what her name is. The Aura Mage. And I figure my best odds were to just kill the boss through the wall somehow, but he has Fenrir, so I'm gonna have to be a little more subtle about it. Now I'm just trying to figure out where to rescue drop Edgeworth so he's not in range of this druid. Probably played it a little too safe. Oh, I'm not rescue dropping Edgeworth, I'm rescue dropping Kaga, I believe, yeah. And then I realized, hey, I'm just gonna block the way with Cilicia, so... Sometimes I just make things more complicated for myself than I need to. Especially last map, where I just didn't kill the dancers. Sometimes you gotta, you know, challenge yourself a little in these games when the game isn't doing it for you. Boss drops an elixir, there's also vulnerary, but I don't need a vulnerary at this point. So I'm just trying to think, okay, where do I place what unit to make sure that the boss attacks me at 3 range so that I can attack him at 2 range next turn if I want to. And Kirsten makes a good candidate because she can lure him towards the corner. And from there I will be able to 2 range him with a couple people. But because I want my EXP, I'm going to make sure that... I think what I do is I make Edgeworth rally for Cilicia and Jerome, and then they can take out the Dark Mage that's standing in the upper left. Because of rally movements. I think at this point Jerome has Paragon, but he doesn't really get a whole lot of it out of it because he's already like level 10 promoted. Some more superfluous rallying. I see no reason not to press the rally button when it's available to me, but at the same time, it seems to appear even if you have already rallied a certain stat. Maybe I'm wrong though. So yeah, Dude didn't really get the chance to come close before Tartara got in my range. There was no real way to counter Tartara this turn, I think, without deploying Samson. It was obviously way too bad at this point to even use. But now I can just kill him with whoever I like, so obviously that means Jerome. And because this was so quick, I decided fairly quickly that, yeah, we're gonna do another map after this, so we'll just get the fleshy boss kill. At this point I feel like the game is more going for aesthetics and funny references than being challenging, because it's really hard to make a challenging mid-end game map when you're given so much EXP to power up your units and giving them so many powerful skills, including rally. So I would actually, if this is a conscious decision, I actually applaud it. And that's a very efficient recruitment conversation. I like how she got the Fire Tome. So let's look at the next chapter. Nice boats. So everyone who is a fan of Gaiden obviously loves boat maps. And we actually get some story-ish. So here's the next chapter, and it's another Gaiden reference. I keep wondering about these lack of menu items. Anyway, pirates with devil axes. Not the biggest scare I've ever had. Obviously this is a reference to the early Celica maps. And lo and behold, it's Celica. The actual Celica, not Cilicia. Actual Celica. And she is the boss of this boat map. And she too has nice thighs as well as a bunch of other random stuff that really doesn't matter. Besides prayer. I wonder if prayer, or miracle rather, would make a really big difference. When I first played this map I thought it might. But it only protects you if you're like being one KO'd or something, or if you have like 60% left. Which I think has happened to beat a couple times. So anyway, before I get started, I just wanted to show off Dude's growths. And yeah, surprise, her speed and magic growth are good. But there's nothing at this point that really makes me want to use her, so we're just gonna get going. I like the idea of Celica being a boss of a boat map. So anyway, I figured out that because I have a 10 move flyer, I can actually move Kirsten up like this, dance to her with Kaga, and then go right up to her. And you can probably guess what happens next. That's not Elfire, but that's okay. Kirsten can get things done, as you can see. And that wraps up this chapter. Now, the reason I did 2 chapters in one video was because I felt like one of them was too short. But this is way too short, so I was like, screw it, we'll do this the normal way. So I'm going through the dialogue real quick. Celica does join us though. So before we move on to the next chapter, I'm just going to show what this chapter looks like if you do it properly. Because I figure you are here for more gameplay than just 2 minutes of it. And I don't think you're intended to break this chapter this way, even though they're giving you 3 pairs of boots at this point. So my best unit against all these Devil X pirates is probably either Anna, the Swordmaster one, or Tim. Kirsten, if you don't use her to kill the boss immediately, is actually kind of a liability because there are 2 archers with iron ballistas, and I don't remember if they quite one-shot her. I think they do because they have like 13 might, so that translates to about 39 might. And that will put her right out of commission. And this is also the reason I didn't deploy Edgeworth, since he gets one KO'd. So instead I decided I'll just mow these pirates down with Tim. He's pretty safe. I think his skill gets nerfed by the skill that the pirates have. But he can live because his accuracy is good enough with weapon triangle advantage. And he got B swords thanks to the Iron Blade. More Gaiden music, because Gaiden music is awesome. Not sure if this is like my favorite rendition of it ever, but it's fun to hear at least. So yeah, there's 2 Iron Ballista archers, and one of them is near Tim, so we'll kill him next turn, and then there's only 1 left. Surprisingly, they don't even kill Kaga. They don't even come close. I think he can take 2 shots. I do check his stats later on just to make sure. Void does get 2 shot, but that other archer is obviously not in her range. Or rather, she isn't in his. So we're totally fine. Of course, my other units are also decent against these archers. The Mage Knights as well as Jerome. So even if you're not like skipping this chapter with Kirsten, it's not all that challenging. Kind of like a boat map. Although this is a really big boat map when you think about it, because the original ones in Gaiden weren't very big at all. The only problem was that they had very annoying choke points and enemies that kept running away, really low hit rates, but without any of these problems, there really isn't much tedium to these. In fact, there isn't much to these at all, they're just a nice reference. I'm trying to think, is there a more efficient way to use these units than this very simple rally dance maneuver that I'm doing? And I think I come to the conclusion that there isn't. Jerome is even more ridiculous now that I have a dancer, because even if he doesn't get a kill immediately, I can dance to him and then get another kill. Like, let's say you got an unexpected miss or something. He can have another shot at getting a kill and still proc Guild Force for a turn. Imagine that, being able to use Jerome 3 times in a turn. That is pretty ridiculous. Yeah, so you can see he goes right for Kaga and he takes... I think he took 1 shot. And Celica actually summoned monsters. She actually did it. Thankfully these are not very difficult monsters. Although you'll see that they are more tough to deal with than the pirates at least. I don't know if I would call them good design, but then again I don't know who would call Gaiden good design. Or any idea derived from Gaiden. So Kaga helps me get not Arc involved for a little bit. I'm gonna need to get a couple units up there because one rounding the monsters is actually pretty hard. You can see the Entombed and the zombies actually have quite a bit of HP. Now that the archers are gone, I can use Kirsten to free the way. I could still just kill Celica with Kirsten, but I already decided I'm doing this the proper way. And I'm also using the save going forward because it has more EXP on it, obviously. Although EXP at this point, it seems like it barely matters. The only unit who has really good growths is Jerome, and he's already one-rounding just about everything. I try to cover stairs whenever I can, just in case there's reinforcements coming from them. But so far the only ones have been from Celica herself. And this monster actually does quite a bit of damage to Jerome compared to other enemies, and he also survives, which is almost unseen really. But yeah, 89 HP on a monster is ridiculous. And he also has Seal Defense, so Jerome right now is all kinds of nerfed thanks to that pirate that attacked him earlier as well as this zombie. But even after those nerfs he does decently. But I seem to be a fan of playing it really safe here. Just trying to make sure that Jerome does get Guild Force. I don't know what this player face music has come from. I know the enemy face is from Gaiden, obviously. But I am an uncultured swine when it comes to video game music. In fact, I am so bad I didn't even recognize the Princess Despair when it was right in my face. I meant to heal with the Mage Knight there, but somehow I clicked rally. I guess that's just what happens when you play this game, is you are always used to pressing the rally button whenever you can. So yeah, classic boat map gameplay where you just hold a choke point with someone even if you don't need to. In fact, I would say that the enemies benefit more from the choke point. I don't know if you could really call it benefiting since they still die, but they die slower. I don't know. These guys are like not worth using killer weapons on, so I'm just trying to save them. There is a guy with a Zombato that I would like to get out of the way. It's not worth using good weapons for that though. What I should have done is expose Kirsten in a spot where monsters could attack them even if the choke point was taken. That would have gotten me through quicker. But if you think I'm gonna LTC this game, you're mad. I'm sure I gave someone an idea right now just to do it, but don't do it, guys. So just a couple more monsters to go. In fact, just one left. And then Celica's turn. And obviously we're gonna kill her with someone else than Kirsten, because Kirsten's already had her turn. But she just likes to keep summoning monsters, so we're gonna have to get one more guy out of the way before we can access her at close range. Jerome is a good candidate for killing things because of Guild Force, so that's just what we'll do. And I'm this close to doing it with Kirsten. Kirsten also faces 7% crit. So I decided let's just go with Jerome. I'm trying to figure out if Prayer can screw me over, but it doesn't seem like it can. So goodbye, Silica. And that's it for chapter 22, as well as chapter 21. I can't talk today. I really cannot talk today. So yeah, I hope you had a good time. We'll be going through these chapters a little more quickly, apparently. But I'll see you guys next time for Flesh and Bone.